Senator Judge Alan Peter Cayetano on your responses to them, to that question.
Yes, Your Honor.
Senator Cayetano asked you what is the theory of the defense, and let me quote your answer. You said, quote, "Our theory is that all the evidence presented will indicate that the Chief Justice did not disclose properties in his sal-end are grossly exaggerated, unreliable, fabricated, or at the very least, Your Honor, comes from an illegal source."
Yes, Your Honor.
And therefore, Your Honor, it is our theory that this evidence would not stand any legal scrutiny and would not be sufficient for a conviction of the Chief Justice. End of quote. Now, Mr. Counsel, in the previous testimony of Mr. Garcia of the PS Bank, upon questioning of the presiding judge, Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile, he admitted on February 9 on the existence of the following dollar accounts of the Chief Justice. Account number 141008145, 141007469, 141007129, 141002826, 141000373. I repeat.
5 accounts?
I repeat.
5 accounts?
5 accounts, sir. On record, upon your questioning, Mr. Senate President, Mr. Garcia admitted to the existence of these accounts. Now, the only reason why this court was not able to put on record at that time, the amounts in these accounts was that the Supreme Court issued a restraining order, which this court, by a vote of 1310, voted to respect. Now, do you insist, Mr. Manalo, that these accounts are fictitious?
Your Honor, our theory in so far...
No, just answer my question, please. Do you insist that these accounts are fictitious?
We are not, I am not in a position, Your Honor, to confirm or deny these accounts. There will be a witness, Your Honor, who would be competent to give that response and either confirm that these accounts indeed belong and are existing or indeed belong to the Chief Justice, or deny that these accounts exist.
First of all, I am just repeating your statement. Your theory, Mr. Counsel, and I quote you again, quote, "Our theory is that all the evidence presented will indicate that the Chief Justice did not disclose properties in his sal-end are grossly exaggerated, unreliable, fabricated, or at the very least, Your Honor, comes from an illegal source." I repeat the question. In the face of your very serious assertion, are you insisting that these accounts, which no less than the bank president of PS Bank admitted upon questioning by the Senate President, are existing, are they still fictitious, to your view?
Your Honor, as I mentioned earlier, I will not be competent, Your Honor, to give an assertion insofar as that factual matter is concerned. There will be a witness, Your Honor, who will be under oath and who will later either affirm or deny the existence of these PS Bank accounts mentioned by the bank president.
Since you said that all of this evidence is grossly exaggerated, unreliable, fabricated, or at the very least comes from an illegal source, will you continue to oppose the opening of these dollar accounts?
Your Honor, I am an officer of the court, and therefore, Your Honor, it is my solemn duty to comply with existing orders of the Supreme Court. I cannot give a position, Your Honor, that will go against any restraining order that the Supreme Court has issued, Your Honor.
All right. Now, in the face of the, no, if you're saying that these accounts are fictitious, exaggerated, fabricated, or exaggerated, why did PS Bank go to the Supreme Court and ask for a restraining order against the opening of these accounts?
I believe, Your Honor, that...
Can I have extension, please?
Yes, you have another 2 minutes.
Your Honor, I am just surmising. I am not a representative of PS Bank, but from what I understand, they have elevated the matter to the Supreme Court by virtue of the provision in the Foreign Currency Deposit Act that there can be no examination, inquiry, or looking into any foreign currency deposit unless there is a waiver, a written consent made by the depositor.
And therefore, insofar as PS Bank is concerned, these accounts exist because they sought a restraining order citing the confidentiality of foreign deposits.
That is for PS Bank, Your Honor, to answer.
You seem to be a very seasoned lawyer. Can you give your opinion on this point as a lawyer?
Well, Your Honor, there will be a conflict of obligation on my part if I will try to give my opinion on the legal position taken by PS Bank.
Yeah, in fact, I can hear the advice of your fellow lawyers from where I stand. So you are well advised by counsel. Just a final point now.
But it was not Justice Cuevas.
Okay. Now, you know, 141, account number 141000373, which is the subject of a TRO from the Supreme Court, contains an enormous amount, if we are to believe Exhibit 11W, presented by Ombudsman Carpio Morales. Account number 01910000373, which is one of those accounts which was confirmed by the manager of PS Bank to be in existence and which is the subject of a TRO, contains a deposit of $768,733.96. $768,000, which was deposited on October 31, 2008, and which was withdrawn, if we are to believe the evidence presented, only on December 15, 2011. And this was restrained, and the revelation of this was made in the exhibit presented by Conchita Carpio Morales. And is this one of the accounts that you are saying now is grossly exaggerated, unreliable, fabricated, or at the very least comes from an illegal source?
Your Honor, at this point, that remains to be a matter that will be subject of the testimony of our succeeding witnesses, Your Honor. I am, it's quite unfortunate that I cannot respond to you directly. I would probably be able to do so, Your Honor, after the witness has been presented. I would probably be able to also give my own legal opinion when the witness testifies, Your Honor.
So what is your basis for saying all of these accounts are fictitious?
Your Honor, my basis here would be the work product that I have as a lawyer with my client. And unfortunately, Your Honor, ethics limit me from making any disclosure of the work product between me and my client, Your Honor.
Maybe just a little advice from my friend the lawyer. Be a little bit more prudent in making assertions like all the evidence presented are grossly exaggerated, unreliable, fabricated, or from an illegal source. Thank you, Mr. President, for the time.
All right, Majority Floor Leader.
Thank you, Your Honor. We will take note of your advice, Your Honor.
Mr. President, we may now call on the next witness of the defense.
Next witness for the defense.
If Your Honor, please, the next witness for the defense will be handled by a member of the team, Attorney Judd. And Attorney Roy, Your Honor, and may we request permission that we be
Granted.
allowed to conduct the examination of the said witness.
Granted. For the prosecution, who will be handle?
Same, Your Honor.
Granted. For the next witness, Emmanuel Santos.
Mr. Emmanuel Tio Santos, Your Honor.
Yes, Emmanuel Chu Santos.
Sorry, hindi ko nakita agad. Mr. Witness,
Please swear the
Please.
witness.
raise your right hand and repeat. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this impeachment proceeding?
Yes, I do.
So help you God.
So help me God.
May I
Counsel
proceed?
for the defense, proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Senate President. May I just put on record that I'm a last-minute substitute. The witness was supposed to be handled by Attorney Jimenez, who is not here today. At any rate, Mr. Emmanuel Santos is being presented to prove that there is no fact, he has no personal knowledge of the complaint he filed with the Ombudsman, to prove that he did not verify the information that supports his complaint, which he filed with the Ombudsman, to prove that the filing of his complaint was motivated by things other than logic, reason, or good motive and purpose.
Proceed.
Thank you very much. Mr. Presiding Officer, we would like to qualify the witness as a hostile witness, and I would proceed to establish hostility.
Comply with Rule 12, Section 12 or Rule 132.
Good afternoon, Mr. Santos.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes. Mr. Santos, did you receive the subpoena issued by the Honorable Presiding Officer?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Last week.
Now, can you please tell me, as the subpoena states, that you are required to bring an original and certified true copy of your complaints against Chief Justice Renato Corona? Do you have the...
Yes, I did receive the subpoena and I read it. And I sent my paralegal representative to the Office of the Ombudsman to secure a certified original true copy. And we were promised it would be emailed after 3 days, but until now I have not received it.
Oh, you have not received it from the Office of the Ombudsman?
I have not received it.
No, all right. Well, then I would like to show you what I have, which is a photocopy, and perhaps you could tell me if this is a faithful reproduction of your complaint. The witness is examining
Yes,
the
sir.
photocopy.
Yes, sir.
Can you also confirm for me, Mr. Santos, if the annexes are faithful reproductions of those attached to your original complaint?
Yes, sir.
Are there any annexes or documents or pages missing from this photocopy?
None.
So it is an exact reproduction.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, for purposes of today, may we request that we be allowed to refer to this photocopy as the complaint itself?
Are you marking it as exhibit?
Not at the moment, Your Honor.
All right. Granted.
Now, Mr. Santos, in this photocopy, there appears to be a verification given under oath in the name of Emmanuel Tiu Santos. Do you recall making such a verification?
Yes, I do.
And so therefore...
I sign it.
Yeah, thank you. Therefore, you confirm that, as stated in your verification, you caused the preparation of this complaint to the Ombudsman.
Yes, sir.
And that you understood the allegations in the complaint to the Ombudsman.
Yes, sir.
And that, as you say here in your verification, you confirm that you have direct and personal knowledge of the allegations of the publications of the said news items in the PDI.
What I meant there is that I have direct...
Wait. I'm not asking you what you meant. I'm just asking you to confirm that that is what you stated under oath. That, quote unquote, and I wish to make it clear that I'm not varying the tenor of the document. I'm just reading what it says. I want the witness to confirm. I have direct and personal knowledge of the allegations on the publications of said news items in the PDI. There is a typo, no? Is that correct? Is that what appears in your verification?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Now, Mr. Santos, I would refer you now to the second page of your complaint. And at the bottom portion, there is a heading which says prayer.
Yes, sir.
I would draw your attention to number 5 under prayer. Do you confirm that the prayer in your complaint states that in number 5, the Office of the Ombudsman to order a freeze on all bank accounts of Renato Corona?
Yes, sir. It's predicated on number 1.
That is
prayer.
right. So this is one of the prayers in your complaint.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Do you also confirm that in paragraph number 4, the Office of the Ombudsman that you stated in the prayer, the Office of the Ombudsman performs such other acts and investigations to build up a case to the level of proof beyond reasonable doubt as to the guilt of impeached Chief Justice Corona in violating Section 3 of RA number 1379.
Yes, sir. In accordance with Article 11, Section 1, Section 15, Paragraph 1 of the Constitution, and Section 15 of Republic Act 677 or the Ombudsman Act of 1989.
Then would you agree with me, Mr. Santos, that by filing this complaint, that you accuse the Chief Justice of having committed certain crimes based on the information that you were aware of at the time you filed this?
In effect, yes, sir.
Yes, and therefore you agree with me that your purpose in filing this complaint is to see to it that the Chief Justice is tried, convicted, and possibly punished for any such crimes. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
On the basis thereof, Mr. Presiding Officer, may request that the witness be declared as a hostile witness.
Since it's clear that the witness, by sworn declaration under oath, has an adverse interest against the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, is hereby declared as such and therefore considered as a hostile witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Santos, can you please tell me a little more about your background? What do you do professionally, or what do you do for a living, aside from filing a complaint at the Ombudsman?
I am Chairman CEO of the International Academy of Management and Economics, and my Board of Trustees created the People's Ombudsman. Let me say it quickly in 2 minutes, that before I filed the first resolution to create the Office of the Ombudsman, on the first day, first hour of the opening of the 1971 Constitutional Convention, I did a lot of research work, and in the process I learned that when the Ombudsman reads in the newspaper or hears over the radio or television any allegations of corruption or irregularities, malfeasance, and malfeasance, the Ombudsman may initiate an investigation. That is the basis why I just filed this. And as
Mr. Witness, wait. I'm just asking you what you do. I did not ask you about why you filed this. Just tell me what you do. You
I
said
did
you
it
were the chairman.
also.
You were the chairman of
International Academy of
Academy.
Management and Economics.
What is this institution?
It's a school offering BSBA, MBA, and PhD in management.
So it's a
in
school of
Makati.
higher learning. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Postgraduate degrees.
Undergraduate and postgraduate.
I see. And are you a holder of such degrees, Mr. Santos?
Yes, sir.
May I know what would you please brag a little? What degrees do you hold?
Bachelor of Laws from UP College of Law.
Yes, you are a lawyer.
AB Political Science,
Yes.
UP.
But are you a member of the bar, Mr. Santos?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Do you hold master's degrees as well?
Yes, sir. MBA.
Any others?
PhD, management.
PhD. Is there anything higher than that?
Postgraduate. I do attend world forums.
Okay, thank you. Now, Mr. Santos, this institute of yours is of how old is it? How long has it been in existence?
And that's a long story.
How many years? Just tell us how many years.
It started in 1980 as International University Foundation, and we converted it to International Academy of Management and Economics in 1985 because the Education Act of the Philippines would not allow the use of university unless it has 4 colleges.
Thank you. Let me interrupt you, if I may. So, in other words, you're telling me you have been in education, in the education business,
Yes,
for
sir.
about 30-odd years. Is that
Since 1980,
right? 1980. That's 32.
I have no choice, Your Honor,
Congratulations. Now,
because I joined Nidoy's Laban 21
Oh,
in
you were-
1978, so I
Uh-huh.
could not, even my own brother would not allow me to practice law
Did you know?
at the SEC.
Did you know Senator Aquino personally?
Yes, sir.
No, were you friends of? Would you characterize yourself as a friend of his?
Well, Senator Jogo Arroyo can better answer that because he was our chief legal counsel.
From your point of view, Mr.
Counsel, what is the relevance of this question?
Your Honor, we're trying to establish the vast experience.
Yes, sir.
of the
I
witness.
don't know if because when my whole family visited him and his family in Harvard, he talked about friends and allies.
Thank you, Mr. Witness.
Your Honor, the witness is being presented as a hostile witness, not
That's
as an
right,
expert
Your Honor.
witness for the defense.
Yes, Your Honor. Precisely. If I may have a little leeway, I want to establish the vast experience of the witness and to show that he is much more aware about the consequences of his act than is led to be shown by what has happened by the filing of the
Go direct to the point,
Thank you.
because we do not have all the time.
Attorney Santos. Thank you, Your Honor, if I may. Attorney Santos, tell me, have you ever been engaged in filing of cases with the Ombudsman other than this?
Only as consultant.
Have you filed any other case against any other official with the Office of the Ombudsman?
None.
You have been a lawyer for how long?
1961.
And you told me that in 1970 you were already researching the intricacies of filing a case before the Ombudsman?
No, sir. It's in connection with as delegate to the 1971
You were a
Constitutional
delegate to the
Convention
CONCON.
from Nueva Ecija. It became my favorite project to file the first resolution on the first working hour, on the first working day of the 1971 Constitutional Convention. That's why I researched.
Congratulations. Thank you very much. Now, you said you filed only one complaint with the Office of the Ombudsman. This one?
This one.
Yes. Did anyone file the complaint with you?
I'm just alone.
By yourself, right? Did you consult anyone before filing the complaint?
No, sir.
You are a lawyer, so you have sufficient knowledge to understand what goes into filing a substantive complaint.
I just practice what I... This is my answer.
Yes, yes.
What I researched way back in 1971 before I filed the complaint. That
All right.
clippings, or even records of radio programs and television can be attached and asked to trigger the ombudsman to initiate an investigation.
And of course-
that is the prayer in prayer number 1.
Thank you. Of course, you read the clippings that you attached.
Of course.
Yes, and you will agree with me that the clippings pertain to reports of proceedings in this Senate impeachment court.
Especially the first clip.
Yes.
Sir.
What is it that you felt made you decide to file the complaint, notwithstanding that the facts were already brought to the impeachment court, that the Chief Justice was already being tried for the impeachment court on those same testimonies or information being presented here? Why did you feel that you had to file the complaint independently of what was going on here?
Well, because I wanted to highlight the fact that the Chief Justice salary is grossly disproportionate to the bank accounts reported in the newspapers.
Thank you.
Now, as it appeared in the clippings.
Yes. Now, you're aware that at the time that these reports had been filed or published in the newspapers, that the prosecution had not yet rested its case.
Yes, sir.
Then you were aware, therefore, at that point in time, that these reports did not constitute evidence, as in fact there had been no ruling as to their being admitted or not, as a lawyer.
Of course, that's why the prayer in number 1 is to just trigger the ombudsman to conduct an
Yes.
investigation and build the case.
Thank you.
I did not say everything here is conclusive.
Yeah, right. But you're aware that a complaint must be supported by some evidence. Are you aware,
Sir.
Mr. Santos?
In the practice of ombudsman in various countries, mere clippings are enough. And it is for the ombudsman to build the case, a conclusive case.
Thank you.
It's not for the complainant.
Do you practice ombudsman law in other countries, Mr. Santos?
No, I don't.
Oh,
but I did a lot of
Research,
research.
that's right. But this is, despite your research 40 years ago and perhaps continuing, this is the only case you have filed.
Yes, sir.
All
Kasi
right.
hindi
Now-
naman ako basagulero eh.
That's right. Thank you. Now, tell me, what was the purpose for filing the case? Did you feel that apart from the violation, this was a case of a corrupt official?
No, it's just that, as an academician, I learned from S.P. Lopez when he was still president, and he was my president, succeeding Senator Lorenzo Tañada in the Philippine Organization for Human Rights, and I was his Secretary General to practice intellectual integrity. I feel that intellectual integrity compelled me to file this unexplained wealth case against the Chief Justice, because it is very apparent that the bank deposits are grossly disproportionate than his income.
Very, very admirable. And you've been practicing intellectual integrity for a long time, I suppose, because he told you when? Long time ago?
Yes,
That's
sir,
Lopez,
during martial
yeah.
law.
So that is what, 40
Around
years ago?
1978, when we were with Ninoy.
Now, tell me, Mr. Witness, in that long, many decades of practicing intellectual integrity, is this the first time you have come to the conclusion that there is an apparent disparity of wealth as against the income or the salaries of a public official? Be careful. Is that what you are telling us, that this is the only time
No,
you
I-
realized?
Not exactly, Your Honor.
So I'm curious, Mr. Santos, why you single out this case?
Because a lot of people in the barber shops, in the coffee shop at Club 365, they have been debating as if the facts do not tally, So
I see.
I just tried to highlight the truth, or what would emerge as the truth.
You were motivated by barbershop talk, Mr.
No,
Santos.
sir.
But that is what you said.
Only
Please
I
clarify what you meant.
Only I heard,
Speak one after another, so that the members of the court can understand you.
Yes, sir.
I apologize, Mr. Senate President.
Yeah, I know you're enthusiastic, but let the witness complete the answer. And then, Mr. Witness, let the lawyer finish his question.
Yes, sir.
I'm
So
sorry.
ordered.
I'm sorry, Mr. Witness. Let me repeat my question. So you were motivated by barbershop talk that you heard?
Not exactly, sir.
But that's what you said.
I just heard from barbershop philosophers their discussion. And as a professor, I felt I should correct it.
In other words, Mr. Santos, you went to the Ombudsman using your vast knowledge from your research, applying your many things learned from your degrees and your law degree, filed a complaint on the basis of things you heard from barbershop philosophers.
Not
Is
only that,
correct?
sir,
Yes.
also in the graduate school. In our PhD class,
Yes.
composed of outstanding entrepreneurs, even political leaders,
Yes.
yeah, and experts in their own fields.
May I know if you also encourage the establishment of barbershops in your school?
Objection, Your Honor, that has no
I
relevance.
withdrawn.
What is the, counsel,
I
I am
apologize.
giving you all the leeway, but go to the point.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Because you are belaboring this issue and it has already been answered repeatedly.
Yes.
He based his complaint on what he believes to be a factual report of some venalities committed. So he filed the complaint. So what else do you want? So,
Your Honor,
are you impugning his credibility?
Your Honor, as I said, we're trying to establish that the motivation for filing the complaint was other than good motive, sound
By
reason.
all means, go to direct to the point.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, did it not occur to you that perhaps submitting only newspaper reports might be inadequate to sustain your complaint?
Exactly, Your Honor. That's why that's my number one prayer. Asking the Ombudsman to initiate an investigation and build the case.
Yes.
And gather conclusive evidence if there are such things.
Did you bother to investigate these newspaper reports yourself?
No, sir. I'm busy, actually.
Yet you found time to file the complaint on the basis of newspaper reports which you did not verify on the belief that the Ombudsman could build up a case.
It took me only 1 hour, Your Honor. I dictated it to my secretaries, and I asked my paralegals to go to the Ombudsman to file it.
May I know, Mr. Santos, did you weigh the possible consequences that this would have as an imposition on the workload of the Ombudsman?
That's why it took me a long time, Your Honor, because I won one case, administrative case, written by the Chief Justice when he was still in the office of the President.
I'm a little bit confused. I thought it took you 1 hour.
The writing,
Yes.
the dictation of the complaint, but it took me a long time to think whether to file it or not, because I won one administrative case with him as ponente during the time of President Ramos. He was still in the office of the Presidential Legal Council, headed by then Attorney Carpio, Antonio Carpio.
By the way, Mr. Santos, you will agree with me that there is no allegation of any ownership of dollars or dollar bank accounts in your complaint.
It's very apparent. There's no
There is
allegation.
none.
There's
And you have no knowledge of any dollars or dollar accounts owned by the Chief Justice.
direct and personal, no knowledge.
All right. Now, I'm curious because in your verification, it is dated, if I'm not mistaken, the document on the date that you signed it, or as it appears to be, 13th of February, 2012. Is that correct? It would appear on the top portion of the third page.
Could I explain it, Your Honor?
No, I just want to know if you see the same.
Yes, because it was filed twice. First, when we just had 2 exhibits, and then the third exhibit came out, so we included the third exhibit, and we had it amended and filed again.
So this is not the original, the first complaint. Is this the first or the second complaint?
It's you can consider it as the same complaint.
You mean it is identical to the first one that you filed?
Yes, sir. We just added the exhibit C, C1. You know, the last exhibits.
Right.
Because
All right.
after it came out, we decided to include it.
So
At the
this-
time, the dollar account was not yet in the front
Thank you.
pages.
So the second time that you filed it would be the date that is indicated on the stamp mark on the first page.
That's the first time. Yes, sir. With only 2 exhibits.
But it appears here from this document that I showed you, the photocopy, that the date of receipt is March 25th. I would like the witness to please confirm that I am seeing the marking correctly.
This was in connection with our request
Yes.
to have and to comply with the subpoena order, to have a certified original true copy.
Now, Mr. Santos, I'm just curious. Did you bother to obtain information from other newspapers? Because it appears that the annexes come from only one newspaper,
Yes, sir.
the Inquirer.
Yes, sir.
Did you try to find similar articles from other newspapers?
I read, but the annexes will become too bulky.
But you chose the Inquirer.
Yes, sir.
May I know why? Is there any reason?
Well, because the Inquirer used to support us when we were fighting the authoritarian regime.
So you consider the Inquirer as your ally in filing the complaint? I just want to be clear.
Egi Apostol was my friend. Okay.
Did you, by the way, publicize your filing of the complaint?
No, sir, I
No.
didn't.
Did you make any public statements against the Chief
No, I
Justice?
didn't.
No. But do I take it that there is a possibility you will further add more annexes as news
No more,
reports?
sir.
Why not? Why stop now, Mr. Santos?
Because it's already ongoing.
What is ongoing?
The investigation by the Ombudsman.
So you have achieved your purpose.
Yes, because this complaint was meant to trigger the investigation by the Ombudsman of the allegations against the Chief Justice.
And yet you confirm that you have no personal knowledge even of the substance of the reports that you attached.
Already answered, Your Honor.
No, you did not answer that.
I
Your
answered
Honor.
that, yes.
No, you
I didn't
not.
have any
Okay,
direct information.
then I withdraw. I have no further questions. Mr. Senate
No
President.
further question?
No cross, Your Honor.
Cross?
No cross, Your Honor.
No cross-examination. Okay. Well, what's the pleasure of is there anyone among the senator judges who wishes to ask question? If there's
Senator Estrada, Mr. President.
the gentleman from San Juan.
Good afternoon, Attorney Santos. Is your school still open for business?
Excuse me?
Is your school still open for
Oh,
business?
there is a closure order by the CHED, but I appealed. So it is in limbo, the closure order.
Why
While
was
on
there a
appeal.
closure order, Attorney Santos?
Actually, it's in violation of the administrative due process.
Can you,
The team that inspected the school made some list of deficiencies. We submitted our own reply showing 100% compliance. Under the administrative due process of the Education Act, the CHED should have sent a second team to verify the verification. Instead, the CHED chairman sent a closure order, but it is still operating because the closure order is unenforceable.
did the CHED issue a final closure order, Attorney Santos?
That's what they said, but I made a reply. I appealed to the Office of the President, and as a result of the appeal, the Executive Secretary said the Office of the President cannot touch the CHED closure order.
When did you file the
Same
letter
day
of
that
appeal?
well, on the day that President Aquino boarded the plane to attend the ASEAN, within 1 hour, a messenger delivered it to the school, and within that day, I filed a motion for reconsideration telling, in effect, telling the Executive Secretary that his position, his ruling, that Republic Act 7722 creating the CHED is inferior to Section 17, Article 7, Executive Department of the Constitution without citing Marbury versus Madison, I in effect was telling him in diplomatic language that in case of conflict between the Constitution and a statute or ordinary law, the Constitution shall prevail.
So, the CHED issued a closure order in February 2012. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
And then you filed a case against the Chief Justice before the Ombudsman on...
Yeah, before the CHED order.
After the CHED ordered the closure.
No, sir, before the CHED order. And my faculty were telling me, you should not have filed the case against the Chief Justice because you are... After the office of the President, I know what you're going to do. You're going to go to the Supreme Court to get mandatory injunction. And
This is the reason why you filed a case against the Chief Justice before the Ombudsman, hoping that the office of the President will reconsider the closure of your...
No, sir.
The closure
It
of the
was
school.
totally, it was a long time ago, you know. When
There's no connection.
No connection, eh, wala.
What other policies did you violate under the under CHED?
They said we violated standards, policies. You know, we submitted compliance. We have produced, let us say, I don't want to mention names. We have produced 2 billionaires who are very famous. I'm pretty sure all the senators, the honorable senators, know them. We have produced
Where's your school located at?
1061 Metropolitan Avenue, at the end of Ayala Avenue Extension.
Mm-hmm. So, who are the, this is a question from Senator Legarda, who are the distinguished graduates of your school?
Oh my God, I don't want to give them undue. They may not like it. For instance, Mikey Romero, he took PhD from
Excuse me?
Mikey Romero.
Okay. The son of Regis Romero.
Yeah, the son of Regis Romero. The 2 billionaires. The other one is Ray Carpio, the big contractor. Around 8 generals.
8 generals?
A son of a senator was enrolled.
A present senator?
Yes, but I don't want to mention. Because I might be held in contempt.
Maybe no one will... Is he still enrolled? Is the son of the senator still enrolled? Kaya sarado rin school ninyo.
It's not legally closed, Your Honor.
It is not legally closed?
Because the final closure will come from the Supreme Court after we have appealed.
Sino ba talaga yung anak na senador na
Ay, ayaw kong sabihin.
Bakit naman ayaw niyo po sabihin? Wala naman hong mag-o-object dito sa amin.
Si Rolyo.
Sino po?
Si Rolyo. Yung dating boyfriend ni Lovie. They were classmates.
Sino po?
Lovie po.
Sabi niya anak po ng senador.
Oo nga, si Rolyo. Si Jolo.
So anak ni senator.
Magaling naman ay, matalino pareho.
Okay.
I'm very proud of them.
Alright, thank you.
Pinagyayabang ko nga eh.
Ano po?
Pinagyayabang ko silang dalawa eh.
Pwede na maging susunod na vice governor yung estudyante ninyo.
Pwede.
Alright, thank you.
Pwede. Doon nga eh, gusto ko maging presidente yung mga graduate ko eh. Kaya sabi ko, pagbutihin at maging presidente ko.
Leader. No cross.
No cross. I move to discharge the witness.
The witnesses discharged.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next witness, defense counsels. What's the pleasure of the defense?
Your Honor, please We have presented all the witnesses. We have prepared in connection with the testimony of the Ombudsman relative to the $10 million deposit, Your Honor. And we are practically through with that aspect, Your Honor. Now, we have other witnesses, but we do not find their testimony to be corroborative relative to the resolution of the issues involved in this case. We will dispense with them, and we will merely beg the indulgence of the Honorable Court that we be granted up to Monday to prepare our principal, the respondent, Your Honor, for who is claimed to have 400 transactions, Your Honor. Now, we were asking, Your Honor, we requested that we be furnished the copy of that 24-page hardware and software, Your Honor. We have not yet received those
A copy of
those materials, Your Honor, and we wanted to make a plea.
Just a minute. Did the Senate receive a copy of the materials from the Ombudsman? Yes, including the report of the AMLA. You do not have a copy of the evidence presented by your witness?
If Your Honor, please.
Just a minute. The Ombudsman was your witness.
Correct, Your Honor. But she was a hostile witness, Your Honor.
Huh?
We presented her as a hostile witness.
Correct.
And we were so allowed, Your Honor.
Correct. That's true. But nevertheless, she was your witness. Although you qualified her as a hostile witness.
Correct, Your Honor.
She presented certain documents. Did you not have a copy of those documents?
We were trying to obtain, Your Honor, but what we received are only not official. They were the copies that were marked. Soft copies, Your Honor. And they contain a lot of entries, Your Honor. That's why we are begging with due apologies this court to grant us the opportunity to allow the Chief Justice to examine the same and determine.
No, but are you asking? Do you have copies of those documents?
Only the soft copies, Your Honor, because hard copies, Your Honor.
The hard copies.
Yes, Your Honor.
What do you need?
Now, as of now, Your Honor, we are not pleading for that anymore. But what we wanted to hindi na rin naman natin magagamit ito eh. Ha? Kailangan natin ito? Ano ito? Ha? Hindi, ano to? Soft copies. Ano to? Soft copies. Pardon me, Your Honor, because these are technical matters and ano to? Pardon me, Your Honor, I'm not conversant with this. What we need, Your Honor, is the soft copy of the CD ba yan? So that we can examine the same and inform the Chief Justice.
What copy? Copy of what?
The relative to the PowerPoint presentation, Your Honor. There are a lot of matters discussed in there, and we wanted enough time to examine them, verify its correctness and accuracy.
But haven't you received a copy of the PowerPoint?
Only the hard copy lang ba tawag doon? Oh.
Have you received a copy of the PowerPoint representation?
I'll just request that Attorney Roy be allowed to discuss this matter, Your Honor, because frankly speaking, I'm totally ignorant of all these materials, Your Honor. I'm only in the legal. Kindly, Attorney. Sige.
I'm sorry for the confusion, Senate President. What we have received are the hard copies.
Yes, that is also what. That is also what
Yes.
was requested by the prosecution and the Senate impeachment court.
That is right, Your Honor.
Now, but you were the one who presented the ombudsman as a witness, why did you not ask a copy of the document that she was waving at you?
I think that we did, Mr. Senate President.
You requested,
Yes,
and were you given a copy?
only the hard copies, only printouts. Yes. All of us were only given printouts. So we are requesting that perhaps we could ask the Ombudsman again to give us the soft copy to everyone. This will facilitate
What do you mean soft copy?
the actual program itself, Senate President.
The program.
The CD, yes.
The disc.
The disc.
Can you communicate with the ombudsman? Who can communicate with the ombudsman?
We were hoping that perhaps we could instruct the
The clerk of
Secretariat.
court, the clerk of court, Mr. President.
Okay.
do so.
The clerk of court is instructed to communicate immediately this afternoon with the office of the ombudsman so that we can get a
Soft copies.
soft copy.
Electronic.
Soft copy of the PowerPoint. Now, the report of the AMLA that she used was copied here and distributed to the members of the Senate or Judge, Senate as an impeachment court, including the presiding officer. So I thought that you were alert enough to get your own copy.
We have a copy of the AMLA report,
You
Senate
have?
President. Yes, it was the PowerPoint presentation supposedly prepared by the GSIS or SSS, the COA, I'm sorry, COA commissioner, which we would like a copy
Then
of.
the clerk of court will communicate with the ombudsman and get a copy of the soft copy of that PowerPoint presentation. If not, communicate with Commissioner Heidi Mendoza, who was here,
Mr. President.
Thank you, Senate President.
and present it to them under receipt so that we can hasten this proceeding.
Mr. President. Mr. President, may we also request that the soft copy be given to the senators? Because I have a copy of the...
I would suggest that we will give first the
Yes.
defense so that they can prepare their
Yes.
case
Yes.
before we get a copy of that document for the users of the court.
Yes,
Mr.
yes, Mr. President, just one point. The reason I think, if I may be mistaken, that they want a soft copy is because the photocopies that were provided us are black and white, but the presentation was colored, so many of the figures are unclear. So even the senators would like to have copies of the soft copy.
Mr.
All right.
President. Mr. President.
Mr.
Yes.
President.
I am informed that we have a copy of the soft copy. So we will just ask the Secretariat to burn a copy for the defense.
Now,
And
Mr.
those
President.
members of the court who would wish to have a copy.
Mr. President, on the part of the prosecution, we also like to request a copy.
just a minute.
Yes.
Just a minute. May I know from the clerk of court, we have a soft copy of the... All right, then produce the necessary copies and then distribute it to both the defense and the prosecution so that there will be no more excuse for any continuance.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, what's the pleasure of the prosecution?
We will yield to the defense first, Mr. President.
Mr. President, I would like to refer to the discussions, I think they appear in the journal, today's journal, the discussions yesterday. I understand that the Honorable Court is going to hold a caucus on Monday regarding the summoning of certain bank representatives in connection with the matters testified to by the Ombudsman. In this regard, we would like...
Who will present those people as witnesses.
Well, we just want to know what the outcome of the caucus was. But what I would like to state in that connection is that may we request...
That is a function of the court.
Yes, Your Honor.
And both panels have nothing to do with that.
Yes, Your Honor, precisely. May I request that, therefore, we be allowed to present the Chief Justice on Tuesday?
No, Monday.
Your Honor, there is...
You have the whole weekend. And our caucus has nothing to do with your preparation.
There is a, if I may, Your Honor, the matters presented in the report of the Ombudsman are quite voluminous. And we would like to prepare our best. The sheer number is simply quite awesome.
All right, so that you will not think that we are biased against him, granted.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
But there will be no further postponement.
Yes, Mr. President.
So, Mr. President, with that, may we be clarified? When do we resume session, Mr. President? With that,
If we have no witness on Monday, so logically we will resume the hearings on Tuesday at the request of the defense.
So,
At which time it is the Chief Justice that will be their witness.
in that case, Mr. President, if that's the case, the Chief Justice will present that Tuesday. We have no objection.
Is that clear? Is that clear?
Very clear, Your Honor.
All right.
And we are very heavily grateful to the Honorable Court for that
The
liberality and magnanimity, Your Honor.
The gentleman from Iloilo, do not thank us. We are doing this in the interest of justice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Just a point of inquiry, Mr. Senate President. In our previous caucus, we said that we will decide this case by May 31, if I recall correctly. The Chief Justice will be presented on May 22nd. That's a Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. We would like to know if the Chief Justice is the last witness for the defense, so that we will know whether what adjustments we have to make in order to meet our deadline for the court.
We want also to know from the prosecution if you will be presenting rebuttal evidence based on everything that was transpired as of now.
With that question, in answer to that question, Mr. President, we will wait for the testimony of the Chief Justice, of the respondent, before we decide.
All right.
Now, we were very categorical, Your Honor, and emphatic in our plea before this Honorable Court that since we have no other witness in connection with the issue now being tackled by this Honorable Court, and we have forgone to utilize other witnesses for other purposes, therefore, the sole and only witness remaining will be the respondent himself, Your Honor.
All right.
That is, we made that clear on record, Your Honor.
Now, let me finish first. Under our rules, there is no requirement of memoranda on both sides. What is required is the preparation of oral argument by both sides. So, I would like to find out whether you are going to require a the submission of memoranda.
But we have to deal first, Your Honor, after we close our testimonial evidence with an offer of all our documentary exhibits, Your Honor. We will immediately furnish. In fact, we are in the process of preparing for the same, and I do not know how long a period they will need in order to comment and or object to the admissibility of those exhibits, Your Honor.
All right.
But we will, after we close, Your Honor, maybe we will need only 2 days in order to submit.
I think by this time,
we have started.
The whole case has already gelled deeply in the minds of the lawyers representing the two sides of this impeachment controversy.
Yes, Your Honor.
So it's easy to prepare your arguments based on your theory of the case, isn't it?
That's right, Your Honor.
All right.
Mr. President, we just want to ask you a question with regards to the closing arguments on both sides.
Yeah.
Under the rules, two may speak on each side, but there's no time limit there. May we know what's the time period limit for the
20 minutes is
closing
mentioned in the
arguments?
rules, di ba? 20 minutes according
No,
to the
no,
rules.
it's not. It's not under the rules. It's not stated.
Well, it's up to you to select who is going to argue for
No,
you.
Mr. President, our question is, how long are we allowed? What's the time limit
1
for
hour.
the two? Total of 1 hour. Thank you.
1 hour each. That's my recollection of the rules.
Under the rules, there's no...
Just a minute.
Okay, 1 hour each side. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you.
The Senate President is verifying. Can I have a 1 minute suspension of the trial, Mr. President?
So session suspended. Nasa inyo 1 hour. Nandito sa section na ang article. As far as the closing argument. Let them talk.
Each side or each person?
Huh?
Each person.
No.
Wait.
Just a minute. Session resumed. I will ask the panels under the rules. I was mistaken. The 1 hour is for all motions. For all motions. Not exceeding 1 hour. So that's the maximum. But in case of the closing argument,
20 minutes, man.
each side shall be opened by one person. The final argument on the merits may be made by two persons on each side, unless otherwise ordered by the Senate upon application for that purpose. Now, and the argument shall be opened and closed on the part of the House of Representatives. So it will be the House of Representatives that will open, and it will be the House of Representatives that will close it. Now, how many hours do you need to argue your case? You're the ones who will do the talking.
All the while, Your Honor, I was of the impression that we will be granted only 20 minutes each. If the court would like or would be pleased to grant us further time, we will be more appreciative, Your Honor.
Ano ang gusto nyo?
Yes,
On the
1 hour will be more than enough. Oh,
1 hour.
huh? Oh.
On the part of the prosecution, Your Honor, will be amenable to 1 hour.
1 hour
1 hour for 2 speakers.
per speaker.
For the 2 speakers for the prosecution.
That's the
Total of 1 hour.
Total for 1 hour. So,
For the prosecution.
for the 30 minutes per speaker.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right.
So if they open the argument, they will have first 30, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Then the defense will follow.
Yes.
Now, how long a time will now be granted to us in so far as the 1 hour
They-
limitation is
They,
concerned?
they have
Only
an opening statement
half an hour?
and a
then-
closing statement.
Yes.
So
I would.
whatever is consumed by the prosecution, we will give you the same time.
Now, if it will not be asking too much, Your Honor, we will make this proposal. If the prosecution is given 30 minutes for the first speaker opening,
Yes.
maybe be granted also 30 minutes in the main argument. After they are through with their closing, maybe be given rebuttal for 30. We're just following.
Mr. President,
We will
Mr.
not,
President,
we will not be able to, or even 10 minutes on rebuttal, Your Honor.
Mr. President, Mr. President,
Yes.
under the rules, the House of Representatives will open it and also will close the arguments. And it's clear in the rules that we will open it and the House will also close.
I'm not imploring I'm making a proposal now for the approval of the court. I'm charged with notice with everything stated in the rules. But
And we
apparently the impeachment court is amenable to at least an alteration of that procedure.
Anyway, we will discuss this in caucus on Monday, and we will come up with a formula, because
Alright.
this will mean an amendment,
Of the
what you call this, a suspension of our rule.
Now, this is my plea, Your Honor. In the event that the impeachment court members will take this up in a caucus, Your Honor, we just plead that the defense be given even 5 or 10 minutes.
I understand. We will
rebuttal.
I can assure you that we will be equitable.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. President.
Yes?
Senator Pangilinan, Mr.
Yes,
President.
Mr. President,
Gentleman from Pampanga.
just another administrative matter. Mr. President, considering that we will not have sessions tomorrow and on Monday, so these are 2 trial days that we will be losing, perhaps we can tackle this in caucus, that to consider holding trial on Friday, next week. Again, to be discussed.
We will consider
Holding trial on Friday, if necessary.
this coming Friday.
Yes. No, sorry. Next Friday. Next Friday, Mr. President. Again, to be discussed in caucus, Mr. President.
No, but
Because we are losing 2 days, 2 trial days, tomorrow and Monday, and the following week is already the 31st. So, hope again to be considered in the caucus, Mr. President.
Focus na yun eh. Bahala sila.
We'll take it up in caucus, because we will have to finish this month. No, we cannot go beyond this month. We have a pile of legislative matters to be discussed and disposed. Okay?
Okay then. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
So with that, Mr. President, may we ask the Sergeant at Arms to make the
The
proclamation?
Sergeant at Arms will now make the announcement.
Please all rise.
Anong date ang Monday?
All persons are commanded to remain in their places until the Senate President and the Senators have left the session hall.
Mr. President,
The Majority Floor Leader.
I move that we adjourn until 2 o'clock in the afternoon of Tuesday, May 22, 2012, reminding the members of the Senate about a caucus on Monday, 12 noon on May 21.
So ordered, this session is adjourned on the date and hour stated in the motion of the Majority Floor Leader.
kami po ay at least natutuwa na rin at may takdang araw na kung saan titistigo na po ang ating punong maestrado. Bagamat pwede nating sabihin dapat mas maaga at itong araw na ito nasayang, no? At least we're happy that there's already a day certain that he would testify, and we look forward to that day so that all questions with regard to his statements of assets and liabilities and net worth may be propounded to the Chief Justice. I hope he would be forthright. He would be willing to open his accounts because they have been saying that they're disputing the AMLAC report. So the only way for us to verify is that he comes out clean, open his accounts for everyone to scrutinize. So kami po ay natutuwa na ito po ay meron na tayong takdang araw, takdang oras. Sabi nga po, kung kanina last 2 minutes na pinapa-extend, at least klarong-klaro na ito na nga po yung final quarter at malalaman na po natin yung mga sagot sa mga katanungan po natin.
Siguro, panghuli na lang is the prosecution or the defense has been given enough time. No, we've had two continuances already last week. Kung matandaan yun, nakadalawang araw lang tayo purposely for the testimony of the Chief Justice. So I think the prosecution as well as the Senate has been liberal enough to give enough time to the respondent, which sa amin naman po is fair, just to give him that time to be able to ready himself for the day that he will be present here. Ang sana lang is they use this time to really prepare the Chief Justice as well as kami to prepare for his testimony, and that there is no other reason, no? It's not going to be intended to seek any other legal remedy elsewhere for that matter. We are certain, at least today, that there is now going to be a forthcoming resolution or at least termination to these proceedings.
Sir, yung procedure lang, sino yung mag-a-anchor na prosecutor, yung pinaka-lead, kumbaga parang shooter na prosecutor that will lead the prosecution na harap kay Corona? Sino yung pinaka-best man
Siguro,
in the House?
as a matter of strategy, hindi dapat i-reveal yon at this point. I hope you understand. But definitely, it will be the one who is most capable of, who has the overview of the case. Dahil pag nagtumistigo ho si Chief Justice Corona, sakop nun yung all articles that we presented. Article 2, Article 3, Article 7. Mahirap po pumili. Maraming magagaling sa hanay ng prosecution, whether private or public prosecutors. No? But we hope you understand that.
Private po ba o public?
It could be one of the two. Either po.
Both.
Yung sa amin kasi hindi consideration kung whether public or private. Iniisip po natin who can do the best job ho.
Basta kung sino man po yung parang dating na pupusuan namin, parang nagkaroon ng pagbabago recently, if at all. Pero as to who that is, marami po ang willing, able, and competent enough to do it. So, but antayin na lang po natin yung takdang araw.
We would
marami.
Just to add, we would like to commit, that when the Chief Justice comes on Tuesday, that we would be respectful to his office, and we would not be rude in our questions. If we've been challenged by the other side that baka mabastos ang Chief Justice, para sa amin dito pwede namin i-commit na talagang magiging respectful po ang House Prosecutor who will ever conduct the cross-examination sa ating punong maestrado.
Sir, yung sa events lang po today, yung tatlong witnesses, nag-admit sila na wala silang personal knowledge dun sa complaint. Will this in any way discredit the testimony or at least the probe of the Ombudsman, considering na she was acting on the complaints nung mga yun?
Sa tingin po namin, hindi. Unang-una, if you go through the Ombudsman law, the Ombudsman is empowered to act motu proprio on her own or by any letter from any citizen. no, even an anonymous letter for that matter. Kaya para sa amin it will not affect.
Hindi na apektuhan yung investigation or results ng investigation ng ombudsman regardless of what the nature of the original complaints are, because in fact what they tried to establish today is to tarnish the documents as well as public records that have been testified to by the ombudsman. Gusto nilang sirain yung mga dokumentong yon sa pamamaraan ng pagpepresenta ng mga testigo nila today by saying that these complainants did not have personal knowledge. Remember that the ombudsman can actually carry out an investigation on its own. Meaning, nabasa sa dyaryo, may narinig sa radyo. Under the law, it is empowered to actually undertake that. That is in the ombudsman law. Now, what will determine the validity or weight of the ombudsman's testimony is her very own evidence, which up to today needs to be answered by the defense. Okay, para mapagbigyan natin ng defense.
Well, it would depend on how long also the direct examination will be. No, I think it's hard to pin down a particular number of hours. It would all depend, of course, because the cross is dependent on what the questions for direct will be. So, kung mahaba yung direct niya and it covers so much areas, then you can expect the cross to be the same.
At the very least, I think it would take the whole afternoon. At the very least.
Well, the rules of court are clear, no? That you can ask matters that are asked during the direct. You can ask questions that go into the credibility of the witness to impeach his character. You can go into questions that delve into the truthfulness of his statements on direct. So it's practically anything that will go into the actual statements made, and secondly, will go into the character of the witness. And that's very important here because the witness is going to be the respondent himself. Wag muna natin pag-usapan no kung ano, pero that as far as we are concerned, even with those parameters, you can ask a number of questions, even those that have not yet been taken up during trial.
Sirs, what's the one question that the Chief Justice should prepare for? Sa dami ng gusto niyo itanong, what's that one thing na medyo dapat niyang pagpraktisan ng matindi?
You know what? We're so tempted to say it, but if we do, then that wouldn't be a surprise question anymore. But I don't think we need to think deeply. It's a question that's probably ruminating in the minds of all the senators and the entire Filipino people. But we'll wait for the appropriate time.
When he takes the witness stand, you will be trying to impeach his credibility and you'll be testing his integrity. Is there a way to do that politely?
Well, I would think that on the tone of the questioning, that would be a polite manner. Now,
how can you make him slip up without being not rude?
Well, there are techniques in asking a question that I would say that certain witnesses cannot avoid answering. So we'll leave it at that. No, that's why it's important that our prosecutor who would conduct the cross is very respectful, is very courteous, no, para mailisik yung mga sagot, no. Remember, there are ways there are a couple of ways on how to skin a cat, sabi nga po. And I'm sure the person that we would put there would be as sharp, no, in his line of questioning, and would be able to adapt the situation when the situation arises.
Who is the most patient prosecutor that you have?
I think everybody's patient as far
Who
as
is the most patient prosecutor that you have?
I think it's any of the 11 who are there, the public prosecutors.
So we're ruling out the private prosecutors.
I thought you were asking about the public prosecutors.
I didn't qualify my question.
I would say the most patient is the lead prosecutor, Junjun Tupas.
So the chief prosecutor will be cross-examining the chief justice.
No, you asked who the most patient prosecutor is. I think based on what we've seen in the course of the trial, the most patient has been Congressman Tupas.
So would you say he's the best person for that job?
Patient and most tolerant.
Most patient, most polite, sharpest?
He's equally as sharp as the rest. I think that we cannot really disclose at this point in time as to who. But let me just stress that the Chief Justice is no ordinary witness. He's an extremely intelligent witness. He is the head magistrate. He went to Harvard Law School for his master's degree. No less than Congressman Sani Angara is a living testament of how smart people from Harvard are. But it's not going to be an easy job. But there will be ways through which you can come up with inconsistencies, impugning the character without being disrespectful. That's our commitment. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Siguro naman po naging maliwanag ang mga pangyayari ngayong hapon.
Dennis Hamito from Bombo Radio. Sir, sa huling bahagi daw ay pinipilit pa rin daw ng defense ayon sa prosec na i-delay dahil dito sa 2 araw na walang trial dahil po sa kahilingan daw ng panig ng depensa. Ano po ang inyong reaksyon?
Wala po kaming reaction. Alam niyo po,
hindi ito delay kasi kung makikita nyo naman, sa totoo lang sa list of witnesses namin na dati, meron pa nakapila dito, tinanggal na nga namin sila eh. And pati si Secretary De Lima na na-issue na ng subpoena, tinanggal na rin namin. So kung gusto namin mag-delay, sana isa-isahin ng pang paupuin itong mga testigo na to. Minarapat na namin na si Chief Justice Corona na lamang ang inaharap dito bilang huling testigo at tanggalin na yung iba pang mga testigo. Ito naman yung dati namang binabato sa amin na si Chief Justice lang makakapagpaliwanag or at least sa palagi ng mga tao, siya na lang yung gusto niyong pakinggan. So, yun ang sinunod din namin. Pero dahil sa nadagdag nga po na dokumento na nakuha namin from the Ombudsman, yung AMLAC report, ito po yung may kahabaan. I'm sure kayo nakita nyo na ito. Hindi lamang yung PowerPoint presentation na medyo mahirap po maintindihan, lalo na sa mga abogado na wala naman pong background sa finance. Hindi ka naman po makakapagpaupo ng testigo mo dyan, lalo na po isipin yung testigo natin, siya mismo yung akusado dito. Para siya ay matalino at maliwanag niya ring masagot yung mga tanong, kailangan, alam niya rin yung hinaharap sa kanya na PowerPoint presentation, pati dokumento. Kung nakita niyo yung galing sa AMLAC, may mga legend pa po ito na yung iba, DBM, CRM, yan yung mga bagay na kung ikaw mismo yung pinagbibintangan, para masagot mo kung ano yung ibig sabihin nito, kailangan mo siyang aralin na mabuti. Hindi po ganun kasimple yan. Kaya nga sabi namin, para mabilis na ito, tanggalin na natin lahat ng testigo, pero hindi rin nangangahulugan na si Chief Justice Corona, kaya niya agad basta-basta rin pag-usapan yung AMLAC documents na hindi niya pa nakikita, first time nilang din nakikita. Nakakasigurado naman tayo na magtatanong yung senator judges sa kanya on the basis of these documents. So, on the basis of due process rights, without really meaning to delay, we have to afford him the right to study these documents so that he can be prepared when he sits on the witness stand and pag tinanong-tanong siya ng mga senator judges, lalo na tungkol dito sa bagong dokumento nga po na galing sa AMLAC.
Ayun po, so dahil may mga witnesses na hindi na ipepresenta, hindi po ba nakapagpahina pa to ng case nyo? Dahil baka mamaya makatulong naman sila, di ba?
Hindi na ho. Sa tingin po naman namin ay sufisyente na o sapat na ang aming nailatag na ebidensya. At sa tingin po namin, ano pa man ang paliliwanag namin, hanggat hindi umuupo si Chief Justice, ay patuloy ang agam-agam at pagdududa na baka hindi siya umupo. Ito nga po na maliwanag, sinabi na po sa open court, hindi po ako magtataka na mamaya o bukas ng umaga ay magtatanong sa amin, talaga pa bang uupo si Chief Justice sa witness stand? Ang matitiyak po namin sa mga puntong ito ay uupo na po siya.
So, masasabi niyo po ba na na-pressure din kayo na ipresenta
Hindi
siya?
po eh. Alam niyo ho, siguro at this point, it can be told. Dahil sinabi na siya. Sinabi na siyang uupo sa witness stand. Hindi po, pinaliliwanag ko, at this point, it could be told. Bakit? Kasi ho, sa Monday or Tuesday, Tuesday po, upo na siya. Alam niyo, nung pinag-aaralan namin yung kaso, alam kong inaasahan ng prosecution at pinipilit kaming mauna ang Chief Justice. Kami ho, kung magtataka kayo, unti-unti naming nilalatag, sinasabi namin, ang pundasyon, ang bubong, ang pinto, ang bintana. Ang magtatahi po ng lahat ng yan ay ang Chief Justice. Hindi po maniwala mo mat kayo't hindi, that was the general theory. Kaya lang, sasabihin ninyo, ba't hindi nyo sinasabi nun? Hindi namin kailangan sabihin. Kaya sinasabi namin bukas at patuloy namin pinag-aaralan. Siguro ngayon, katulad ng isang teatro, which is the reality because this is both a legal exercise and a political exercise, the theater is ready to listen to him. Handa na po eh. Handa na. So ngayon, ang taong bayan ay handa na rin titingnan kung ano ang kanyang sasabihin.
Oo, we know, oo, tama ka. Yung very rigorous talaga yung haharapin niya, lalo na siya na lang yung natitirang testigo, and we can imagine kung gaano karaming katanungan yung manggagaling sa prosecution, pati sa mga senator judges. And yung question niya po kung siya ay morally, spiritually, physically ready, syempre siya lang yung makakasagot nito. Ang alam lang namin, pag nakikita namin siya tuwing mga meeting po ay pag nakikita namin siya, kalmado siya, nananatili pong matatag. Pero yung spiritually, morally ready, siya lang naman makakasabi nito. Pati yung, lalo na yung physically ready. Hindi na maaring sa amin, yung dating niya, handang-handang kalmado. Pero hindi rin natin alam dahil medyo mahaba na po itong pagsusubok niya. Simula pa lamang noong December ay tinitira na po siya. Kaya siguro pinaghahandaan niya naman.
Well, yun nga po, no? I just want to add, yun nga po, kalmadong-kalmado po si CJ. Nakikinig po siya habang nagdidiskusyon yung mga abogado. In fact, very enthusiastic ho yung mga lawyers, no? Ang tingin ko po siya'y handa. Napatatag na po siya ng hirap siguro na kanyang dinaanan. At lalong lumalakas po ang kanyang loob sapagkat nandyan po kasama niya ang kanyang pamilya. Lagi pong nasa tabi niya ang kanyang may bahay, ang kanyang mga anak. At ang akin pong pagtanaw, mataas po ang kumpiyansa niya sa defense team na pagdating po ng panahon na kinakailangan, nandyan po kami sa kanyang likuran. So generally, ang impression ko po ay handa po si Chief Justice, siya po ay matatag, at ang kanya pong paninindigan ay talagang hubog na po ng lahat ng paghihirap na kanyang naranasan na.
Karagdagan lang po, no? Siguro kung tatanungin natin ang ating mga sarili, kung tayo kaya yung nasa sapatos niya, nagsimula noong Disyembre noong nakaraang taon, halos 6 na buwan. Kung pubuklatin niyo po ang bawat pahina ng ating periodiko, magmula ng araw na iyon, kung kailan siya ma-impeach, ay araw-araw siyang laman ng periodiko. Karamihan po doon ay masama. Inuusig po siya sa publiko. Kaya nga po kayo nagtataka kung saan siya humuhugot ng lakas. Kasi po, siguro kung tayo ho yan, ayaw na natin eh. Kung ilan po sa atin, di po ba, sa pagsubok na gano'n, baka sabihin na, wag na. Pero po yung tao, is nakikita kung buo pa ang kalooban, sabi mo nga, is he morally ready? Yes, I believe so. Is he spiritually ready? I am more certain that he is spiritually ready. Is he physically fit? Alam ko po na may nagsasabi, nagkaroon na siya ng heart operation. Di po ba? Nagkaroon siya ng heart operation. Pero ako talaga'y nagugulat kasi nakikita namin siya ng malapitan at nakakamayan namin siya. Alam nyo, tayo naman ay tao lamang na pag tayo'y naapektuhan ng mga nangyayari, hindi masamang lumalamig ang ating kamay, di ba? Minsan nga lumalamig pati ang ating paa. Pero sa mga pagkakataon na hindi naman ganun kadaming pagkakataon na nakakamayan ko siya, sa sitwasyon na may mga pagsubok dito sa impeachment court, ako'y hanga na buo ang kanyang kalooban. Hindi ko nga siya nahawakan na malamig ang kamay.
Siguro kung po pwede ko pang idagdag, kung magbabalik tanaw tayo dito sa paglilitis, maraming pagkakataon na mayroon rin mga pagsubok sa amin bilang mga abogado. Ngunit siguro sa dami na rin ang aming pinagdaanan dito sa paglilitis, lumakas na rin yung aming mga loob, no? At siguro yung lakas ng loob namin, pati yung tibay ng pananampalataya namin dito sa kaso namin, siguro yun, dun na rin yung may pinanghuhugutan na rin si Chief Justice, no? Nung lakas niya. Kasi kahit marami na kayong tinatanong sa amin, marami pagkakataon na tingin nyo, pabagsak na kami, pero nakatindig pa rin kami, pati malakas na malakas pa.
Sir, may iba lang ako ng konti. Kasi may statement from, I think from the defense team, an email saying that the AMLAC report was fabricated. Do you confirm that statement?
Sa akin ho yata galing yun. I confirm that.
How can you support that, sir? That statement?
Well, there is no testimony given by the Ombudsman when she was asked if it is a genuine document, if she authenticated it, if she verified it. There is no positive testimony from the Ombudsman. it is not genuine. Hindi niya masagot eh. She cannot ascertain